I'm at home today in my kitchen and I'm joined by the gorgeous Heidi Sze. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Heidi is here to give my pantry and fridge a little bit of a makeover. Now, I'm a bit nervous because you've been fossicking through my pantry. It's not the biggest space and it's a bit untidy, but you found some good things, haven't you?
I have, yeah. We've got some great grains here.
Now, Heidi, you're a nutritionist and a dietitian, so you know what you're talking about. So what would you say are pantry essentials for an everyday kitchen?
It's really important to have a well-stocked pantry. You know, if you're going to go to the pantry and cook a nice meal in your kitchen, you need to have everything there that you can use.
Yeah.
And one thing that Australians need is a bit more variety in their diet, in what grains they're eating. We rely too much on like white flour, white products.
Processed products?
Yeah, exactly. So one thing we can really start with is grains, and that's looking for basically anything brown. We like whole foods and whole grains. That's where a lot of nutrition's in that grain.
So what are essential grains to have in your pantry?
So variety really is key because we're getting a whole range of different nutrients then. I love to have something like a rice alternative I still have white rice in my pantry, but a rice alternative, so like a wild rice, which is like black, or you can get red rice. Something like a brown rice is awesome too. And then you can get similar looking ones like freekeh, which is like a cracked wheat and is really nutty and chewy. We got bulgur here, which is awesome. Quinoa is great too. And
Looks beautiful as well, the black quinoa.
It's really popular for good reason, like it's full of nutrition, really good nutrients. And also it's a gluten-free alternative. So some people really do struggle with digesting gluten, whether they're allergic to it or intolerant to it. So having a range of different ones like millet and quinoa is really good.
So just don't be afraid to experiment.
Yeah, and you can just Google how to cook it.
Yeah. So what are some of the things that you just love cooking with that add texture and flavour?
Nuts. You really can't get more sort of bang for your buck with nuts and seeds. They're providing you with a really good dose of nutrients, often that we lack in our diet.
Yeah.
So Brazil nuts, walnuts, some omega fats there.
Nuts contain a lot of fats, and I guess some people might be scared of that, thinking, oh my God, I'm going to put on weight. But can you clarify that? Is that just a myth?
Yeah, I mean, well, no, they do. They do contain a lot of fat, but I think this whole being scared of fat is changing.
Yeah.
We went through that whole low-fat craze, which then put a lot of sugar in our products. Say with yogurt, they'd take the fat out and then put sugar in for flavour.
Which isn't great.
Which isn't great, and we do eat too many processed foods, we do eat too much sugar. So getting some fats also helps satiate you, and it helps sort of stunt your blood sugar level spike.
Yeah.
So and you're getting a really good dose of nutrients. You just need to be good with portion control.
Yeah, that's it. So some nice beautiful macadamias, like you crush those up, put that through a salad or even in a dressing, or you can just have it on its own. And you don't need very much because they're full of, I guess, good fats which do fill you up.
Absolutely.
So you're not then, half an hour later just searching for something else.
Definitely. I notice a difference, like say if you put, a good old plain sweetener spread on your toast versus like something like a really good nut butter, which is just 100% nuts.
You bought in some nut butter, didn't you?
Yes, some nut butters and even like pepita butter.
Oh, wow. So pepita is a pumpkin seed. And I am obsessed with seeds. Like I just put them on everything, like from salads, raw cakes, desserts. They just give your dishes a nice little texture as well.
Yeah, for sure. So it's like a flavour thing, but also a nutrition thing, which is awesome.
And something that I just could not live without are spices. Now spices, they provide so much flavour and they don't add in any nasties.
A lot of the time when we're looking to add flavour, it can be really, really good if we just get like something that's not going to overpower the dish in terms of adding a whole bunch of calories, but will add really nice supportive flavours, So there's common pairings that you can do, like cinnamon, that often goes with say like honey or things like that. Playing around with these spices and not being afraid of them is a really great way to add in some good flavour, as you said. But also say like cinnamon can help stunt your blood sugar level spike. And say turmeric is really anti-inflammatory. Yeah, so there are some good health benefits to spices.
And you can add cinnamon and turmeric to even just something like a smoothie. Like you don't have to make something fancy. It's really easy just to add a dash into your everyday meals.
Definitely, experiment. And if it tastes bad that time, then just don't do that again.
Now, I'm a massive sweet tooth. I absolutely love desserts. Recently, I've been making more raw desserts and also using different alternatives to say your refined sugar, which you know, we're all used to using in our food and just adding it in, usually without even a second thought, especially in things like Asian food, which uses a lot of sugar. But with desserts, I'm really excited by the creativity that I'm discovering in unrefined sugar desserts. So using a lot of things like dates and raw sweeteners. I love dates and I use them in a lot of desserts, but can you tell me, are medjool dates actually good for you?
Medjool dates are just fantastic. They taste like a sticky date pudding, right? And they're full of good nutrients too, you know, fibre as well, so that helps to stunt the blood sugar level spike. So very different. Yes, it contains sugar, but it's very different to, say, downing a teaspoon of white sugar.
Yeah, I get them in the fresh food section of, say, a supermarket or grocer. They're different to the dried dates that you find. You can just see that the pip comes out really easily from the dates.
And they really give you a big sweet hit. So, you know, yeah, they're a bit more expensive than the dried dates, but you don't need that many.
Okay.
And yeah, they're fantastic. I'm obsessed with them too.
Oh, yeah,
and then you've got the other sweeteners. So like, I think this is a local raw honey.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Raw honey contains a lot of the really good nutrient properties, like it's very antimicrobial and things like that.
So raw honey, I guess, is different from just a standard commercial honey because it hasn't been treated with heat.
Yes.
So does the heat kill a lot of its nutrients?
Yeah, yeah, and with a lot of raw foods, you know, the enzymes are still there, and sometimes it's just a marginal difference, but it's sort of like whatever you can get. Take whatever you can get, and it's still sugar. Your body still processes it as sugar.
Sure.
But you know, often you need a bit less, and you're getting, you know, a little bit more nutrition. So yeah, it's more expensive than white sugar, but it also just helps with portion control.
Yeah, and you've brought in some condiments as well, some oils and vinegars, and I've even can spice some beautiful anchovies.
Yes, I try to get my clients loving anchovies and sardines is a good way to get in some.
No, I can remember growing up thinking, no way will I ever love anchovies, but I absolutely love them. They're salty and they just add a great depth of flavour to dishes. I love eating them with lamb, putting them in like a salsa verde.
Beautiful.
Not just you Caesar salad, which I think a lot of people know anchovies for. Exactly. And I think it's really important as well to start eating fish that is small, like your mackerel, like your whiting, just because those smaller species are a lot more sustainable.
Definitely. If we're talking sustainability and good for the environment, then these smaller fish are a much better choice. And they're so much cheaper as well. Like this jar, you can just add a few when you're sauteing onion, and it really disintegrates into whatever dish you're cooking and just adds that saltiness. So you don't need to add salt, but you're also getting great omega-3 fats, which we're lacking in our diet.
I must say, I've cooked anchovies with a lamb dish before, and my partner says that he doesn't like anchovies, but he couldn't tell that there were anchovies in the dish. So they do work, and what you just said, if it's adding those beautiful omega-3s in there, that's great.
And then you've got your vinegars, you know, go nuts, try all your different ones, you know, move on from just white vinegar on your fish and chips to say like sherry vinegar and red wine vinegar. Like the spices, it adds a lot of flavour without calories. If you add vinegar as well to meals, it helps lower the GI. So again, we're talking lowering the sugar spike. Yeah, so same with like, say if you squeeze some lemon, just that acidic sort of component. And then olive oil, you really can't get better than extra virgin olive oil for health.
Now, Heidi, you are also a food blogger. You're one of my inspirations, actually. So you've got Apples Under My Bed, which is an absolutely beautiful site. You do all kinds of recipes as well, healthy whole food recipes. And if you think that your pantry does need a bit of a makeover or you need some more help, then you're available in Melbourne, aren't you?
Yes.
To actually come to people's houses and do this kind of get everything out and talk about the different ingredients and what's good for you.
Definitely, I love it. It's so much fun. You know, we can go to the supermarket as well, and then we can go through your pantry and really figure out what's good to have.
Well, Heidi, it's been absolutely invaluable having you here in my kitchen, going through my pantry and telling me really about ingredients that are whole foods, that are really healthy and nutritious, but also that you can find in your everyday supermarket and are not too expensive. So thank you so much for coming in and spending some time with me today.
Thanks, Dani.